Okay, we are working on the weekly spread for the 21st week of 2025. For this week, I'm going to use the Coffee Monsters Co. Hobonichi Cousin Kit, which is the sunrise to sunset. I'm definitely going to cover the month. This is the 21st week of the year, and that's crazy because we only have 52 weeks, which means we are very close to halfway. And that stresses me out a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to do these thicker strips down here. There is a lot happening this week, and I made an important decision to switch all of my work calendar items to my work phone because I noticed that my weeks wasn't really making it out into my job with me. You already know I love my weekend banners. So that's gonna go here because nothing should happen before 7 a.m. on the weekend. I do want to use these to fill in this space. And we'll alternate them because there's 4. So we'll do... Labor Day weekend is this weekend, and so far the plans I've come up with is go hiking. That's all I have written in for this long weekend so far, and I think that's enough. I like these for filling in work. Typically what I would do is I would use additional stickers like these to time block things on the hourly. Like I would just put it here and write in what it is. But I did something last week where I was just writing it in like this, and I like that better because it allows me to use that half-hour time slot versus blocking off a whole hour. So if something is not an entire hour, I don't want it to block off the whole slot. So we're gonna change what we do a tad bit this week. Originally, when I started using my planner, I wanted to fill out all of my weeks and all of my months ahead of time so they were all pretty and themed already, and I realized that I wasn't very happy with all the themes I was choosing ahead of time. So in this one specifically, the monthly themes are already chosen, they're already done. I was also trying to do like 3-4 weeks at a time, and I like it much better this way where whatever vibe I'm currently feeling is organically happening that week versus doing it ahead of time and then being unhappy with what I have. This is my first time using one of these. I don't think I've used it before. It's exciting. I love using new stuff. And I'm gonna actually stick it out up here so I can do more. So it sticks out a tiny bit. I don't like that. We're gonna try again. You already know your girl's a perfectionist. Wow. That's as perfect as it was gonna get. And I'm so proud that I was able to do that. Say it with me now. You already know I'm pulling out the tiny icons. These are all of the items I would like to track this week for myself. I would like to track if I'm taking my supplements. I would like to track if I'm filling my water jug every day because it's one of the ways that I get more water in. I want to make sure I'm doing my skincare. I feel like I've been breaking out more, and just honestly, it's probably due to the fact that I have been going to sleep with like mascara on or makeup on, and that's not good. And then we're back into walking, running. Oh, so see, I could have done this in that first column and then move these over one for next time. And these are household items. I think I'm gonna use these and put the stickers on there. We want to make sure we're doing laundry every day because that way it's easier on me. Put it right here. We want to load and run the dishwasher every day. And we have vacuum. I think I'm going to use this little vacuum and cleaning together because if I'm vacuuming, I'm definitely wiping stuff down too. I'm going to use these. Does anyone else also get the little earwig, ear song? I don't know what the phrase or the terminology is, but every time I say the word work, I hear Rihanna's work, 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 work. And every time I hear that in my head, I immediately think of my friend Yvonne and I driving from New York to California. And let me tell you, that trip was one I will always remember. We went south first and stayed in North Carolina. And then we went into Louisiana because she wanted to see the country that way. I get sidetracked by concentrating on what I'm doing, and then I forget that I was telling you guys a story. So what I was saying is, my friend Yvonne and I went to California. We started in New York. We drove south to North Carolina. We stayed with one of her friends there. Then we drove to Louisiana, and we stayed there one night. From Louisiana, we drove to Houston and stayed there with her family. And then from Houston, we drove to El Paso and stayed there because this is how big Texas is, that we had to stay 2 separate nights in 2 completely separate areas in Texas because it's so big. My son doesn't have school today, so I'm going to stick it because of Memorial Day weekend. In these spaces, I'm going to write in AM, PM. Then from El Paso, we drove to... Did we drive straight through? Hold on, let me think. I'm trying to remember if we stopped in Arizona or not. I can't remember. We might have stopped in Arizona. We stopped at San Diego at one of her friends' houses, and that's where I met one of her friends, or a couple of her friends, I should say. I almost died doing some cave exploring. There's a whole story there. This kind of reminds me of when we were in San Diego because we saw really, really pretty sunsets. But back to my story. So we drove from San Diego all the way up to San Francisco, and we decided to take the one. Got caught in a crazy storm. Rocks were falling, super dark because it got dark on us. It took us, I think, 15 hours to get up there. I definitely recommend driving the one. It was beautiful until it got dark and stormy and raining and we couldn't see anything, and then it was pitch black. That was really scary. So don't do it at night, but it was an experience to say the least. All because of the word work. I'm going to use this as a little sticky note reminder. The 24th, we are going to be outside. Because there's going to be 3 of us. Sleep trackers are funny because I have started tracking. I think this is my 3rd week now where I've been tracking my sleep. And all it's doing is really just showing me how much I don't sleep or how much I should be sleeping more. So at some point I would like to get to where the sleep tracker prompts me to sleep more. So I'll put an exclamation point for sleep. Friday is an admin day. After going hiking, I'm gonna need a rest day. So I'm gonna just put this on this. Let me put it here. And then use this here. This is all I'm going to do for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Also, thank you for following along with my little wonky storytelling. But have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye.